Sandra, wow, what an amazing, amazing story, and what a fantastic job you did in this movie.
Thank you.
Hats off. Okay, I always thought that Sandra Bullock was a dynamo, like, no one could beat you in terms of your energy, but playing Leanne, whoa!
I'm sorry, Leanne Toohey will beat anyone in their energy any day in her sleep. She, when I first met her, I was thoroughly exhausted by the time I left her, and she was still going to go for another 5 hours. There's no one, I thought I had it all. I have nothing energy-wise compared to Leanne Toohey. Nothing.
What was it like for you to even, where did you even start to take her on?
It was really scary. That's why I just kept saying no. I was like, I don't get it. I don't know how to find an in. I said, there has to be a crack in the veneer for me to get how she is like this. You always look for the weakness, the thing that they're not telling you, the dark story, And once I felt that I'd found the crack in the veneer, and once I hired this great dialects coach I work with, I said, we just need to figure out how it is she talks. Not the accent and the dialect are easy, how she talks. And it was the intent and the energy behind her motivation every morning. Like, she just has and unless you're on that train, you're not going to pull it off. But everything we wore, the makeup was hers. Everything, we said, just give us a list of everything in your closet.
Yeah.
Makeup tray, nail polish, everything. And
how much time did you spend with her? Or did you prefer not, like, once you got to know her and then you wanted to take it on?
I spent a little bit of time with her at the beginning, a lot of time with listening to her voice for the dialects. And then it just came down to the layering of the clothes, which is a great costume designer's job. A lot of questions to her, and she told us to get a life a couple times, and I said, well, I'm going to be your life for 3 months, so I'm here for a while. And then it's easier to watch the person than ask them questions, because if they're like me, I'm not going to tell you the truth. I'm going to tell you what I want you to see. I want you to see the best side. I'm like, show me the side that doesn't always feel like it has it together, and that's 9 times out of 10 the motivator to why people are the way they are the minute they step out of their house. And they were so open about their lives and family and what didn't work and what worked. And I don't know how they did it. I'd never let it happen.
What a remarkable family, seriously.
Yeah.
You're right. Like,
Yeah.
How many of these types of people are really living in the world?
Well, how many people are like Michael Orr, who's willing to step out? He had to do all the hard work. He had to learn, relearn, re-educate, get educated, physically and emotionally and scholastically. He had the hard work. And the guy was on the dean's list at Ole Miss. I'm like, I was not a dean's list, and I had a just fine life. Yeah. The person who Michael Orr is the real deal, because he doesn't want the movie stuff. He doesn't want to be involved in the stuff. He just wants to play football.
Yeah.
So we need to let him play.
And then the icing on the cake is the guy makes it into the NFL. Were you crying your head off?
Oh, I've never watched a draft in my life, and I always say the wrong terminology to the eye rolling of the good men in my life. But this year, glued to the TV, glued, all of us glued. And I think I don't want to cry now, but what he said when he got it, how many people like that exist in this lifetime who have that humility and that commitment? Not a lot.
Yeah.
Not a lot. Yeah.
Totally amazing.
Yeah.
Tell me about working with Quentin. I mean, just to find the actor to fit that stature is one thing.
The amazing thing about Quentin is he stepped in it never having really acted. He's not someone who knew what to do behind the camera, in front of the camera, nothing. And he had to train as an athlete and drop 100 pounds and create a whole lifestyle for himself that kept going long after we went home. But he was up for the challenge. He wanted the challenge. And the sweetness in Quentin. I love, like, he gives the best hugs, but when he holds your hand, your whole hand disappears, because it's like, oh. The soul and the sweetness behind him, and he's just a good man. He's a good man. Yeah. And good things should happen to good men, and they don't always, but they did in this case.
It's so wonderful to to watch you in this role, and of course we just saw you in The Proposal, which I just loved you in that. Love the comedy stuff that you do, but I'm watching you in this and I'm thinking, man, this had to have been probably, I think, your most fulfilling role of your life.
I've had a couple opportunities in this business where you leave having spent yourself, and being allowed to spend yourself, because a lot of times all of these not required, and you're like, this just isn't. This is one of those moments that can sit on one hand with a couple of fingers that I left going, I have no idea what I did. I don't know if it's right. I don't know if I gave what I needed to give, but I was spent by the time I left. And I did everything I could that I was able to do and what John was able to give me, and I just had to trust that John knew what he was doing. And I kept saying, do you really know what you're doing? And you never know. You can only show up and hope that you don't get raked over the coals. And when you get raked over the coals, you don't really care. So I don't know why I worry about it so much, but you do.
Yeah, well, of course. I mean, you're human.
Yeah. I am.
You are,
Tell
really.
everyone, please. But you know what? I had a complete experience, not just in front of the camera, but in meeting people I never would have met, doing things I never would have done, thinking things and asking questions I never would have asked. And it was a good life experience, not just for the work. I felt like I came out of it just bigger. You felt fuller when you left this place that we got to stay in for 3 months.
So I have to know, do blondes have more fun?
You know what? I know someone that doesn't care for me as a blonde, so that made me very happy. But other people are like, girl, you look good. I'm like, stop, because that means the minute the hair comes off, you're not going to go, she looks all right. You know, some liked it, but the most important person didn't care for it too much. So I was like, phew.
Excellent. Yeah. Oh, and by the way, he's a great guy. Man, he's a great guy. Do you ever get scared every day when he goes to work? I have to know this.
I ignore where he goes during the day. I literally zone out because I do have a bad stomach and because of worry. And I figured ignorance is bliss. I'd rather see it when it's on film and there's some editing to it.
Yeah, I hear you.
That's when I want to see it.
Well, congratulations. You
Thank
did
you.
such a fabulous job. And
Thank
I
you
needed
so
a whole
much.
box of Kleenex for
Thank
this
you so
movie.
much. Thank
Thank
you.
you.